Douglas Politics, Friday night, 7:30 p.m. Happy Good Friday. Happy Easter. Blessings to everyone. Friday night, 7:30 p.m. Douglas Politics. Celebrate. Trinidad and Tobago, celebrate. Vaccines reach. Vaccines reach. 33,600 vaccines reach. If your children doing a puzzle and it's a 1,000-piece puzzle and they put in 33 and a half pieces out of the 1,000, celebrate. They nearly finished the puzzle. What? Well done, kids. You're doing a great job. If your doctor give you 7 days antibiotics to cure an infection and you take your first one after a meal, celebrate. The infection done. You're healed. You're good. No need to do no more. Everything is A-OK. That is the PNM way. What nonsense. We need 1.5 million doses of vaccine and they are celebrating 33,000. Lord help us all. If you do the calculation, we will reach herd immunity of 70% of the population above the age of 18 by 2025. That is the pace. The Alsing say 1,000 vaccines per day, 1.5 million doses to be delivered and jabbed into people. We in a mess. Trinidad and Tobago, we are led by incompetence. Incompetence abounds. Douglas Politics, Friday night, Good Friday, 7:30 p.m. Be there, share the light. We start on time. Douglas Politics, Friday, this Friday, Good Friday, where the Boboli, 7:30 p.m.
Douglas Politics, this is Douglas Politics. Douglas Politics, this is Douglas Politics. Douglas Politics.
Good evening and welcome to Douglas Politics. Blessed Good Friday. Happy Easter to each and every one of y'all. And if y'all seeing this here, this is for my daughter and I. All you don't jambi, don't feel like giving away nothing on Douglas Politics here today. This I got from Fendi. Check her out at Hello Sugar TT. You're getting cakes, cupcakes, cookies, everything. Check out on Facebook and Instagram. And these, Anaya's going to have a time because these cookies are not decorated. The decorations come. So you have a whole activity time. Daddy go in and do some art and craft. The only subject I ever failed in Fatima, arts and craft. But I go do it with my daughter. What I go do? She go teach me. So check out Hello Sugar TT. Good evening and welcome to Douglas Politics. Let me talk to Mr. Sabgan and Samakal. Good evening. How are y'all? Y'all lost your testicular fortitude? Are y'all cowards? Men call all your Franco men liars. The Alsing say, Rowley say, all you lie. They never asked all you to buy no vaccine. The 351,000 vaccine, nowhere to be seen. Pfizer, not wrong. Pfizer not even Pfizer bad. And all you still licking the K-Pax, boy, Sabga. All you have no cojones. Imagine the Guardian print. Ladies and gentlemen, please. I mean, we have a modicum of intelligence in Trinidad and Tobago across the board. I hope. I know we suffer from brain drain throughout the last 40 years. And after COVID, a lot of all you're planning to pack up and go. But still, we have some kind of brain left. 33,600 vaccine. Let me don't even talk about the expiration date yet. That is 16,000 people vaccinated. We have to vaccinate 1 million people. We need 2 million doses. So the Guardian says right on time. TNT gets first batch of COVAX vaccines right on time. Is that true? Since October last year, the Alsing say it's supposed to reach in February. The last time I checked, it reached on the 31st of March or whatever. That is 40 days late. But Guardian say right on time. The world reached about 600 million vaccinated already. The globe vaccinating 12 to 14 million people per day. We get 33,000 expiring vaccine that we cannot even use. The protocol that Dialsing said, remember Dialsing said, we are following WHO and PAHO protocols. We will utilize the first 2,000 gift. That was not a gift from Barbados, but Barbados was really a collection point, and it didn't have no gift from Mia Amor Motley. But we will be utilizing those as 2 doses, so 2 doses per person. So we will give the first shot to 1,000 people, and then the second dose in 10 weeks. That's the protocol we'll be following. But now when they open the casket, they open the thing in Iceland, it come down in cold storage. Who owned that? But anyway, on friend and family, all of us getting me, about no tender, me ain't read no tender, me, if man wanted a tender for refrigeration truck, Arawak ice truck too. But anyway, no big thing, all you find that good for all you. They open the crate and they see expiration date 2 months. The last time I checked, 10 weeks is 2.5 months. So now the Alsing changed the protocol. No. We going and choke all you. One shot, one kill. Everybody, 33,600, one shot. Now think about how dangerous that is. Think about how stupid that is. Think about how incompetent they are. The thing not on time, like the Guardian say, it done late. We done behind. It was supposed to be 100,800 was supposed to reach in early February. We get 1/3 of the supply. Guardian boasting for the PNM. Because Sabga, all your answer Makal, you all turn to eunuchs. The PNM clip all you, they snip all your by Sabga. You come out with one little press release to state the facts and then run back in your hole like a little coward. Why are all you so frightened, boy? Answer Makal, no cajones. What are you going to do? If all you had nothing, well, me, what left for the rest of the country, because all here is a billionaire company. Every quarter is billions of dollars, and all you still afraid them. Well, all right. So, we're celebrating the vaccine wait. Gada wasn't enough for the Guardian, The Guardian ball, the vaccine wait is over for TNT. Really? TNT? TNT is a population 1.39 million. We need at least a minimum 1 million vaccine. We get 33,600 plus 2,000 gift from Barbados, 35,600. The vaccine wait is over. How you work out that, Guardian? Think about it. No, I want you to understand the nonsense that these newspapers print. How the vaccine wait could be over. We good? We reach herd immunity. 1.5 million doses, minimum 2 million doses. Correct? We reach, so the wait is over. Who getting them shot? And Rowley running to take you on first. When the ship sinking, captain run and dive off on the life vessel, the life raft one time, and leave woman and children behind, Leave Tanti and Granny and Nicky Crosby and them singing calypso, shaky. Leave them to dead, The ballad Oreo run and take it here on first and hear the next convent girl. Well, me too, me too. Well, the Prime Minister taking his own. And then, well, I taking my own because the CMO tell me I is a health worker. You're a health worker. You can't even pass a pharmacology exam. What about you is a health worker? But all is the biggest coward on God green earth. All you're not only dunce, all you're incompetent, and you're cowardly too. Boy, let's see. Penal in the Daily Express says, penal COVID hotspot due to migrant inflow. How long? And Express, welcome. Since October, welcome to the world of journalism and fairness. As the Douglas say, we want UNC want no media on we side. If we in charge, you want hard question, investigative journalism, fact-finding, printing, not rumor and nonsense. And if the PNM in charge, same thing. So since October, the Express has been very fair and balanced. Hard-hitting editorials, fact-finding questions. Since last year, I was telling you all, and Vishnu will somehow on Facebook fling up something, not now, later on in the week to remind you so that all you feel a lie. I was telling you all that the legal entry points were closed down, even to our own citizens. The only country in the world who could be so dastardly, so disrespectful, so disorganized, that they would lock their own citizens out of the country and unable to repatriate under PAHO, World Health Organization, quarantine protocols. We so inefficient and incompetent. But I told you all that what's the point of locking down the airports and the ports of entry if we have porous borders with a small pin clown who could not even get diesel for the Coast Guard vessels. One Coast Guard vessel to patrol for that whole period. No helicopter, no air guard. Because the partnership by helicopter, they leave it hide up and park up collecting cobweb in Camden. No air guard flying. 21 pilots from air guard gone. Only 3 left. The radar not working. No army camps around the coastline preventing COVID from coming across from Venezuela when people were not only running from Maduro but running from the dictator, running from the dictatorship and the oppression and the pain and hunger and starvation of Venezuela. A regime that Rowley and Rice, Rowley and Smallpin and the PNM upholding and supporting. We'll talk about that later. But look, penal COVID hotspot due to migrant inflow. Penal Debate Chamber of Commerce President Rampasat Suraj said he was not surprised that Penal has been identified as a hotspot for COVID-19, as illegal Venezuelans have been entering the country through the areas in the district. Gary Griffith also said so, that the COVID-19 coming with illegal immigrants, and we have 2 doctors, Parashreimer and Hines, the Balize twins, who balling yes. No, man. No, COVID-19 is not coming with any illegal immigrants. Which illegal immigrant all you catch and test? All you can't even catch them. That's why they are called illegal immigrants. They're coming in, and you coming on TV to tell we that them are bringing COVID when COVID blowing up in Venezuela. That's all right. But Gary Griffith says so. The Penal Debate Commerce Chairman says so. So Stuart Young Smallpin, who's the only human being who can sign an exemption and approve an exemption by law, the Minister of National Security, and he currently holds that portfolio. Yes, I could feel y'all cringing. Y'all cannot believe that such an idiot, such a clown could hold such an important position. Such a small pin could be in such a big position. And, well, reports came out about a young teenager, 19-year-old girl, who due to some mix-up with testing and PCR testing and the PNM policy down here, got stuck and trapped in Barbados. The head of the Barbados Youth Center, or wherever she was staying, the quarantine area and so on, said so, that it was becoming a humanitarian issue. That was all over the media, CARICOM media, Trinidad media, all over. Here's Stuart Smallpin Young. He said his ministry is looking into the matter to determine the facts. I was very surprised to see that article. No one has contacted us. There were Caribbean Airline flights from Barbados to Port of Spain in March. We are reaching out to find out this and find it very surprising that no one contacted National Security before. Well, you know why they didn't contact National Security? Because they didn't have Jelani number from party group in Aruka Maloney. Them, if they had Jelani number, them would have get straight to you, Smallpin, because you and Jelani tight like Faris Al Rawi pants. All you tight. So maybe we should have get this girl, this young lady, and the others across the board. Again in Barbados newspaper today, hundreds and thousands of citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. It is being reported in other countries that we are total embarrassment to ourselves and our citizens. That our citizens are still stuck all over. And this small pin clown who can't dance, no left foot, no right foot, out of timing, say he want to be a priest but end up in the devil neighborhood. And then coming to tell us that that's the best policy. It's brilliant. They're handling it well. And he is proud of that. And he loves Buju. Buju sing about you, boy, small pin. You listening to Buju lyrics and you realize Buju burning fire on you? That you is the epitome of Babylon system? You see how man could listen to things? It are more outside than inside, you know. That man small pin listening to Buju and say he like Buju conscious lyrics. As them plan and they bring in bills to thwart the rights of young black people across the country. When black man see police lick up 3 man, throwing them like carcass in a back, picking up thing off the ground. Small pin say them youth men and black men not bright enough to riot. The UNC, the Indian and them pay them. And he like Buju lyrics. Boy, if Buju see you go slap you, boy. Government considers giving 33,600 doses one time. That what I tell you just now. But this one was shocking. Actually, I couldn't believe this one, you know. The Newsday, Judy Raymond, like something like a tent. They're cutting it no more. What going on, Judy Raymond? I find you're ponging Rowley and thing. Like he ain't ponging, he not ponging you again. Eh? You ponging he. Alright. Here the Newsday editorial making sense. 16,800 down, 1.3 million to go. And y'all think we number 1 in COVID? Eh? Where my Rasta man from New York, from Chumakek? Eh? Big up Dr. Rowley with how he handled the COVID. I show you Chumakek Rasta in New York. I show you with your illegal self if you even have a green card or if you're up there correct. I show you get your vaccine already. You outside there, you're hiding, but you go and get vaccine. But down here, we brothers in Chumakek can't get no vaccine till next year. But Dr. Rowley, big him up, he did so good. You know that Indian lady, she wouldn't get no vaccines for the country. That Indian lady, well boy, let me tell you something. That Indian lady, it appears, got the 40,000 vaccines from India. That Indian lady, when Dr. Rowley would not write to the Indian Prime Minister and he wouldn't put in a letter, that Indian lady on behalf of all the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, black, Indian, Syrian, Chinese, mixed, Douglas, all religions, Christian, Rastafari, Muslim, Hindu, Douglas, Orisha, Baptist, Shouta Baptist, all the religions, man. She wrote to India and she said, give me some vaccine for my people, dude. And you know what happened? We got vaccines, dude, 40,000. So all of you who were thinking that it wasn't Kamala, that it wasn't Kamala Prasad Bissessa, that it wasn't protocol, Archie, run that video of the High Commissioner with this beautiful lady who has a face for radio. Run it there, Archie.
Who is responsible for the government to send in the vaccines? Is it the letter from the opposition leader or is it the letter from the Prime Minister?
No, you have to understand the dynamics of a country and the people. And you have to, I think, as governments, any government will look at the strengths where they can build, and sometimes, you know, a large diaspora, a particular leader, your own government, your own connection might be helpful. Diplomacy is not only one connection. You know, you can build exclusively one connection, that's good. But diplomacy is always to build and use your strength to get what you want for your national interest. Yeah. So it's up to you how you use it.
I agree, but I thought that there were also protocols that determined who, if there's a government in place, then that it would be government to government. I've never seen in diplomacy opposition to government and a response there.
No, that's why I've said, you know, if you observe many high-level visits, you know, to a particular country, which is bilateral visit. It happens and the visiting leader actually visits the leader of opposition also with the consent of the ruling government. Why do they do it? They are in the opposition. I think it's a standard procedure in visits.
Has this been your experience, though, that, you know, when you're High Commissioner to a country, that not only the head of the government, but also the opposition would make...
Everybody. He's accessible to everybody. He can meet everybody. I have met leader of opposition
No,
here
not
also.
not in terms of meeting everybody, but has it been your experience that not only the head of the government would make gestures on behalf of the state, but also the leader of the opposition?
Yeah, he or she is actually free person, you know. They can write to anybody. You know, I am here, you can write. Any common citizen, you know, individual can also write. There are issues or there are appeals which a common man on the street can write to High Commissioner saying that this I want to transmit to your Prime Minister or your head of government.
And you would normally pass that on as well?
Yeah, I'll use my judgment. What are the concerns, and you know, that's my job.
Yeah.
So I do it.
Did you pass on the opposition leader's
letter?
Of course,
yes. Yes, I did.
And also the government's letter?
Obviously.
Yeah.
The woman nearly cried. Oh God, the man say diplomacy, it includes the government plus the opposition all over the world. The high commissioners of all countries, ambassadors could meet both sides, because diplomacy is not one thing. Diplomacy is overarching, because you never know if the opposition will be the next government and so on. You want to have the most relationships. You want to have many pathways. But she said no, but the woman said she never hear about that. Like she studied protocol. They nearly cry, all the makeup start to run. And listen to me, this country already serious. The man answered the question about 12 different times. In other words, he said Kamala Prasad Bisesa, he received she letter. He passed it on to Modi, and 40,000 vaccine reach. Rowley didn't ask for no donation. Rowley say he not begging. He asked for assistance to purchase, to take all your money to buy. That woman sit down there. The man answered the question. She tried to do so. She tried to teach he about Jamaican who talking in Trinidad politics, business, and talking diplomacy like she has never seen. Where you went to study diplomacy, Miss Lago? Where you went? On I-95? You went in Balize House? This is the madness that passes in media, but I'm glad all you see it. The High Commissioner is so diplomatic and so correct, and he's a lifelong diplomat. I could never be a diplomat. I don't have diplomacy. So them fellas, I respect them. I love them. They're very professional. They also had a party where he say, well, he was so disrespected, because diplomats just stay quiet. They don't care in people's business. And for a prime minister to sit down and attack a diplomat in a country and also lie on them was deeply disturbing. The poor man, he didn't even want to say it, but it was so bad. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's only 40,000, but if Kamala was the prime minister there from early o'clock, we would have get about 400,000 from India donated that we don't have to pay. And then the COVAX 108,000 could reach by May, and that would have been 580,000. We would then get the 351,000 from Pfizer, whether the government pay or Ansa Makal pay, and get the tax credit, which is fair enough, no problem. Don't mind they have no cojones. Sabga, I shame, especially young Sabga. I can understand old man Sabga getting a little old. He want to go and catch some kingfish and thing, hold 2 marlin in Tobago. But young Sabga boy, redhead Sabga, you have no cojones boy. Call an elder man, let me give you something, let me give you some fight. You understand? Men call you a liar, they say a lie. And are they still promoting them? No problem. Must have a good thing in the background with that. Yes, and then we'd have get the 351,000. So where we reach there, we'd have reached about 890,000 vaccine already. But you can't done there. You have to go now and you have to try and get Johnson & Johnson. You have to try and get from other places and other sources and keep it going. Work private sector into public sector and everything move. Kamala would have done have about 600,000 people vaccinated since January. People done race it because we in the back of the line. And I hear a professor talking about, well, we have to just wait, you know, COVAX, and when COVAX come, we'll get it. Let me tell you something. At this pace, never mind the Guardian trying to tell you, here the Guardian, red letter day. This was page 12, Tuesday, March 30th. Members of the Spiritual Shouter Baptist community today celebrate a hard-won right and so on, and their right to freedom of worship, and they link that now. Today will also be a red letter day. So the Guardian linking the struggle of an African religion that was vilified and tried to be eliminated by slavery into colonialism, that a religion that was made illegal and not respected, not given resources, not allowed, not given the land that is deserved to have schools and churches and worship areas and music and art and history and culture. A religion that was thwarted by the powers. The Guardian newspaper linked that struggle of the Shouter Baptist liberation. Them link it to 33,000 vaccine from COVAX, boy. Guardian are just sick, you know. I don't even know, you know, I can't even laugh because it's so sad. Here the Guardian. Today will also be, this March 30th, Shouter Baptist Liberation Day. Today will also be a red letter day for this country. If all goes as planned, as after much uncertainty, Trinidad and Tobago expects to receive the first shipment of vaccine from the COVAX facility. That is a red letter day. That a few people get vaccine, what I mean? If a few people get vaccine, we open up. Business can go back as normal. Economy running. Or do you have to reach a certain percentage scientifically to have any impact whatsoever? So if WASA turn on water, they shut off water for half the country, and 10 people get water. That is a red letter day. Guardian, all your sick, yes? Here the Ministry of Health, in a Newsday article by Clint Chantak, this country is expected to receive approximately 240,800 doses. 240,000, right? Vaccination for 120,000 people. In the coming months, 120,000 people in the coming months. We need to vaccinate 1 million people. We need 2 million doses. And Guardian is telling us red letter day, we on the way. That is like saying you're swimming up 400-meter IM and a man dive in and swim the first 10 strokes, butterfly pass, sprinting. And in front of Michael Phelps something, and the country start to celebrate and drink champagne. We win gold, but it still had 380 meters to swim. And in the next 380 meters, everybody passed the man because he get lactic acid, he's suffering from acidosis, and he just cramp up. But all they celebrate, he was in the lead for the first 10 seconds. Yeah, but the race was 4 minutes long. Hard luck. Slovak Prime Minister resigns to end crisis over Russian vaccine. Prague. Slovakia's Prime Minister said Sunday he will step down. The Prime Minister will step down to clear the way for a cabinet reshuffle that will diffuse a political crisis. What y'all think in the Slovak Republic could have triggered a political crisis? What y'all think? Let's read on. There's a Newsday article from Monday, March 29, 2021, page 43. What could Prime Minister resign? The crisis was triggered by a secret deal to buy Russia's Sputnik V coronavirus vaccine. a secret deal to buy a Russian vaccine caused the Slovak Prime Minister to resign. Very interesting, eh? Salary relief stress. Rowley talking in conversations and he talking at press conference when he banned sport. He talking at press conference with an ugly Caribbean shirt that the great plantation owners and the colonials used to make movie and thing and make we look like Jungle Bunny and uneducated, ridiculous Caribbean people just go to drink a little rum and play a little music and run down girl, right? And come and say, yes sir, can I serve you? That is the shirt all the Prime Minister was wearing. Man went in a store and buy that. That is all the Prime Minister. I don't even know if you all understand. The salary relief grant promised to those whose lives were upended and who lost their jobs as a result of the COVID-19 restrictions and lockdowns did not get to all who were in need and who were eligible. This is clear based on the feedback from the people who reached out to the Express following a request on our social media pages asking whether they had applied in 2020 for the grant and what was the outcome. One single mother who cooked for a wealthy family was left unemployed because of the pandemic. She would have spent her salary relief grant overdue rent and apartment she shares with her 21-year-old daughter. But she did not get it. And many others, hundreds, thousands, did not get it. And Rowley's talking down to people and saying, the government, give all you that grant. And if all you play the fool, all you have no more grant to get. He then went on to say that sport, football, basketball, rugby, volleyball, outdoor, beach volleyball, cricket, no more sport because there's a COVID spike. Now, not one of them flipping so-called doctors could tell you they have any link to playing football or cricket. Nobody gets swabbed in the nose, no contact tracing, nothing. Them just come and decide. Let us dictate to the population again and just tell them how we feel and tell them hold that. Them had to take that. So, they stop football, basketball, rugby, all the sports, outdoor and so on. COVID-19. We are at a crossroads, risky, right? You're going to don't play that one, you know. Play the Tobago. But they didn't shut down. Easter weekend in Tobago. You're going on a plane, Chukapso, 90% full capacity. You sit down there for 20 minutes while everybody getting on. You sit down there next door, put on your seatbelt, watch the flight attendant do so, life jacket. Then you take off and land, 15-minute flight. You taxi, and then the door open in another 8 minutes. All together, you all together and walk off, they cramp up, so that's okay. You could go, you could huddle, you could do what you want, you could stay in office in your condition, but you can't play sport. And all you find, the science makes sense, eh? That is why we was #1. Because we really #1 in dotishness, because we believe them and that stupidness. But watch Tobago, Archie, run the track.
And we go vote for the love of we country. We go vote.
Next week, the end of next week, we move into Easter. And of course, this is not an Easter. That the story going to be the ferry. This is going to be an Easter where anybody who wants to go to Tobago can go and come back when you want. So you know what's happening now? Tobago is almost full and overflowing. The place to be is in Tobago.
It's a golden pen, a golden pen. Sign my name, sign my name. It's a golden. Anyway, we vote in P&M. Sign my name. It's a P&M pen, a P&M pen, a P&M pen. How are you sign my name? It's a P&M pen. We vote.
The place to be is in Tobago.
Yes, man. And then the ferry. What about the procurement for the ferry? Who is the two minister went down to see the ferry, and meet with the CEOs and them and get the ferry, and drink scotch and eat shrimps with the CEOs of the ferry, and then take their money and spend on the ferry, and end up spending 300 million extra on the ferry, and who crashed the sea bridge of the ferry? But you is one ball-head clown. But we can't play football. But watch Tobago today that he advertised, that his Attorney General show people on Vibes with Voice that don't take on no mask, lime and hug up, kiss up man, talk in their ears, rub up, come and challenge UNC as if we is your tight pants friend boy. We don't have friend with you, your one-shot when clown. We in the parliament to do serious thing. People get in and we can't play sport. But look what we can play in Tobago with Rowley, left foot, right foot, 3 more seat, EBC, PNM, run it again.
Oh, then pick him up.
Run, become something. Run, become something. Start to run.
Teamwork.
Mask, social distancing, sanitize, follow the protocols. We are one fool away from locking down again. And if we lock down again, the government has no money for you. But we building a Diego Martin extra swimming pool that lock up in the cricket ground, and we're building a Diego Martin regional office for the corporation, and we're building an interchange in Diego Martin, and we're building an airport even though it have no tourists to come for the next 3 years. We're spending $1.3 billion on an airport, and all in NGC, all the Point Lisa's industry shutting down, unemployment, but we're one fool away. Go Tobago, everybody go Tobago, says that clown the Prime Minister with his Attorney General who wear no mask and doing arm wrestle and balling 7 people only when it had 3 camera. It has 7 people in front of the camera. So what I go tell all you, it's only me here in this studio here. It's only me. I in front of the camera. So Archie not there. All you can see Archie, but I'm telling you Archie there. So that too. So if you have a clown Attorney General tight pants, one shot a la recusal landlord, lost 31 case, and 7 people in front of the camera, 3 different camera angles, that means 3 cameraman, a song man, a music man, you reach 12, who is the lights man and the editor, and the person who opened the door to let in the strong man and them to arm wrestle. But you want to lie and ball about 7. But look at Tobago, where the spy go come? Pinal, Barakpo, Kuva, Princess Tom, and we coming back.
Sugar politics, we don't get no kicks. Trinidad and Tobago, do we have this thing of the fix? We coming with facts, cut them down like axe. Every kid and race fine and Negro places love to the max. And when we tell them, Manel, Douglas politics, this is Douglas politics, yo. Douglas politics, listen, Douglas politics, yeah. Douglas politics, this is Douglas politics, yeah. Douglas politics, this is Douglas politics.
And welcome back to Douglas Politics. Share the live, getting very interesting. I read an article in the Business Express Sunday, 28 March 2021. Nikon looks to raise US 175 million US. Now this is the Nikon who get all your assets, taxpayer assets from Malcolm Jones, PNM Jones, that Rowley, Al-Rawi and Smallpin take out of court. I didn't see no section 34 kind of march and screaming. I ain't see my girl Aisha and them balling and marching up to the savannah to the president's house. They pull him out of court. thwart the case, the civil proceedings to try and recoup your money. Then the PNM government puts him on an energy committee before he dead. And then they start and they go on to sell your assets that he buy for $3 billion to some fellas called Nikon for 30 million US, of which they pay 10 million US, and we ain't know nothing else after that, no information. And I showed all you last week, fire in the hole, right? But this now, Nikon is trying to raise from the public, 175 million US. Nikon Energy Trinidad Limited plans to issue 175 million senior secured fixed rate notes due in 2031. These notes repayment will be backed by revenues generated from an offtake agreement from NETL, which is Nikon, and Petrotrin, a wholly owned subsidiary. On March 10, 2021, S&P Global Ratings assigned its preliminary B long-term rating to the proposed notes. Well, me, I know all of this rating. Very good. But I asking Mr. Gill and Miss Alison due diligence Lewis, and yes, Alison Lewis, I am so disappointed in you. You was a permanent secretary, Ministry of Finance. I was a Minister of Sport, and every time I go to FNGP, if I have to get money for the coaching caravan, if I have to increase the NPI vote from the poultry $10 million that the PNM does spend on community groups and sporting organizations and uniforms and equipment for children across the country, I increase that from 10 million to 140 million to help children from Ikakas straight up to Matlock, down to Carnage, all over in between. Kuva, Chaguanas, Princess Town, Dabadi, Arima, Maloney, Lavanti, they go Martin all over. I had to go and get clearance from Alison due diligence Lewis. She know the Ministry of Finance rules inside out. Top procurement, corporate governance expert. But then they put PNM Pushy on a port board and she approved Bridgman's. The Prime Minister all ball it crooked, but he approved the crooked money on the phone with the boy sidekick K-Pax small pin. Yes, boss, yours in Tobago. Approve it on the phone. Alison due diligence Lewis is also on the board of Nikon, who now trying to raise from you, the public, 175 million US. Okay. Well, let me see what's going on at Nikon. So I'm asking Nikon. Ainsley Gill, whoever his name is, the chairman, is Mr. Small still on the board, former independent senator? Independent senators that just jump out of the Senate and jump into PNM. I want to say a special hello to former independent senator Helen Drayton, who as PNM win, jump out on a PNM CNMG board and still writing like she independent. Good evening, my independent senators. I want to ask the Nikon board, what are they producing? What percentage? Let us know. We hearing reports. We don't want to hear reports. We don't want rumor. If you're going to the market to increase capital for people to invest, they need to know what they invested in. We hearing rumors that you're only producing at 22%, 24%. We seeing thing going on. We want to know if it's true. The last 10 days ago, I get a video fire in Nikon. I hear people get fire from Nikon because Anel get the video. I hear people get busted, people get fire. Is this true, Mr. Gill? What was the cause of the fire? And what was the cause of this Archie Nikon?
Current situation. GTL Nikon. That is it. Watch that one. Where they get out here, buddy? We outside. A little dangerous today, but you know God is good. Excess gas. Wait. Current situation, GTL Nikon, a little dangerous today. but we're on the grind still.
Nikon Energy Trinidad and Tobago Limited NETL plans to issue 175 million US senior secured fixed rate notes due in 2031. Nikon, I suggest all you answer the questions. What is that? Excess gas, excess wax? What is that? Is that normal? What you're producing at? You're at 99%, 100%. How much product you get? How much you're selling? What is your market? What is your margins? What is the price you get for the minister's share of gas? Because nobody else can get gas. Proman shut down 2 big plant methanol, and 10 other companies shut down in Point Lisa. What price you gain we gas at? Minister's share from Franklin can. Tell us, because we want to invest, Nikon. We want to buy shares. You're producing anything? Is that normal, that thing we saw there? Or you're killing mosquito? What it is you're doing is flambeau. I thought it's Soca Monarch coming out. I thought Marshall taking on the boss Iowa and his big battle with Bungie Garland and Fian coming out after, and his pyrotechnics. I thought it's fireworks. I thought it's Christmas. I thought it's Independence Day. What is that, Nikon? Show the next one. What is this, Nikon? Nikon, please tell me. I want to know.
Looking like that was a good decision anyway. Come up on the back end.
Nikon looks to raise US 175 million. Nikon Energy Trinidad Limited NETL of the project plans to issue 175 million senior secured fixed rate notes due in 2031. Nikon, what is that? Tell us, is that normal? What is we producing? Fire? Is cigarette lighter we making? What it is? We want to know with we assets on them how much you pay of the 30 million US. How much you raise and how much you borrow from Republic Bank, because there were reports that you were going to borrow 120 million US. How are the payments for that going? What interest rate did you get the loan at? What price you getting the NGC gas from the minister's share from the PNM with? Since all here is a PNM company, it look like, with PNM friend and PNM independent senator and PNM PS. So we just want to know some PNM information, because if we're going to buy, we want to invest. If all you're good, we want to make money in 2031. That is when we might get the vaccine. From one set of nonsense to another. Archie, I'm going to read something for you. And ladies and gentlemen, it's quiz time on Douglas Politics. Share the live, you could share it. I'm going to read a quote for you, and I want you all to guess who wrote this. You all ready? I know Douglas Politics viewers are very intelligent. I must make special mention of the Presbyterian Board of Education and the consistent support that they have given to education in this country. The strong religious foundation of the school is yet another way in which SAGS, St. Augustine Girls High School, prepares students to become quality citizens on completion of their secondary education. The school's vision states, the school stands for scholarship, aspiration, goodness, happiness, service, and success. I can attest to the fact that achievement of this vision is paramount. If you all didn't hear the vision, hear the vision. Scholarship, aspiration, goodness, happiness, service, and success. I, the person who making this quote, says, I can attest to the fact that achievement of this vision is paramount. And it shows clearly by the way SAGS has always conducted the business of education. Per ardua ad astra, excellence through hard work is the motto of SAGS. who all you feel could have given that quote. It makes sense if it was Tim Gopi Singh, Fazal Karim, fellas who build school, increase gate, increase MIC, NESE centers, bolster education under Kamla Prasad Bisesa. If it was Kamla Prasad Bisesa who make that quote, hey, makes sense. Them build 106 schools. They increase grant funding for special needs children to go to school. They increase school feeding program. They give laptops. They were going to give tablets. They wanted to give Wi-Fi across the board. They increased sport funding, culture funding, PAN in schools. So if it was Kamla, Tim Gopi Singh, Fazal Karim who make this statement, it makes sense, eh? All you know who make that statement? The Honorable Minister of PNM Education, Dr. Nayan Gadsby Dolly. The woman who says she believes in the watchwords and she believes in the vision of a Presbyterian board, but them coming to attack the Concordat. She believes in scholarship, but they attack the scholarship and giving bursary. This woman had no shame. Narcisco best friend, who is the independent head of the EBC, and always saying we have democracy and it have fairness and equity in democracy. Here the same Gadsby Dolly who is boasting about SAGS, and SAGS, I must say, is a brilliant, amazing school, and some of the best principals, Ms. Mahes and all of them. Yes, a shame that all you bring them two out, but what you say, I think we had one or two also that's not very good. The minister, means test for students' devices launches April 12th. Children have been locked out of school since March last year. Okay, March, April. We are now coming on 12 full months of no school for 46,990 children who did not log on at all. We have been seeing picture after picture of private citizens donating laptop, tablet, and so on for our children, while the government has done little or nothing. While they even starving the children, boasting that they're providing 20,000 meals. When, if school was called without COVID, they normally provide 48,000 meals. And when Tim Gopi Singh and Fazal Karim was in charge of education, them was providing 74,000 meals per day. But here there's a means test to ascertain students most in need of the devices. So them now going and test and check to see who poor and need devices. The same people who can't give all you a $1,500 for 3 months and only suffering 13 months now. And only ain't get that. But telling you that you get it but you stay quiet, but them who ain't get it make noise. And if you go on lockdown again because you went to Tobago because of the economy and the ferry, and it have a spike, all you have nothing to get. But Noel Garcia building anything willy-nilly that he need and getting all the money to build useless projects that provide no sustenance and no food on the table for you, the citizens. And that's what they tell you with arrogance. And all you come to Kosanil about left foot, right foot. Balize. Balize. We should ban Balize from the forest. Antigua Prime Minister to argue Caribbean's case. Why do I bring up this topic? Because I want you all to understand that while enough of us in Trinidad and Tobago were hoodwinked by a man called Keith Christopher Rowley, who's a stranger to the truth since he come out his mother, and got better, more pathological in his skillful evasion of truth as he got older. And enough of you people, plus an EBC that is weighted in favor of Rowley, plus a media, a conglomerate, Trinidad and Tobago's brightest and best, so afraid of them that them call them liar, and they still praising them with the most nonsense printed in a newspaper, Guardian, and say, Macaulay, shame for you. All your entire organization had no cojones. But anyway, what I go say? But I bring up this topic to let you know that out there in the world, people are not like us. People have analyzed and realized incompetence, stupidity, myopic thinking, blurred vision, no generosity, no empathy. And they have realized that all of those things exist in Keith Christopher Rowley. So, President of the USA, Biden, he mightn't be able to walk up steps good. He mightn't be able to answer questions good. He mightn't be able to talk too long. He might drift off and just stop. Okay. But he bright enough and sharp enough to know that Rowley's a clown. Because yeah, invite Rowley. Rowley is the chairman of CARICOM. They're talking about a climate conference. The Caribbean is one of the most at-risk regions based on climate and climate change. And Biden looked straight past Rowley and went to the Antigua Prime Minister Gaston Brown and the Jamaican Prime Minister Holness. And listen to not only Biden, but Gaston Brown, CARICOM, and Holness. Them didn't say, well, President Biden, the protocol and diplomatic relations of the Caribbean, we normally have the honor of being represented by the chairman of CARICOM, who in this case is the Honorable Keith Christopher Rowley. So with all due respect, sir, while you've invited us, and we are honored that you've invited us, we will humbly say that we bow, or we put our leader of the CARICOM in front, as he will represent us, because he is the leader and chair of CARICOM, and we support Dr. Keith Rowley as the chair of CARICOM, and we put him forward to you to join your meeting of the 40 leaders in the world to discuss climate change. And I the protocol, and I the diplomacy, and I the normal pathway to success. Gaston Brown and them say, Biden, we coming, boy. We coming. Fire on Rowley. Forget he. Let he go by Maduro, by Iran, by Russia and China. We coming by you, Yankee. We coming to the meeting. Gaston Brown say, boy, boss, may I come? Prime Minister Gaston Brown intends to make a robust contribution on behalf of all CARICOM countries. Gaston Brown realized that Rowley is a clown, that Rowley cannot represent them, that Rowley could not even get vaccine, that Rowley is up Maduro K-Pax, and Gaston Brown not playing that. Gaston Brown want he people to survive and thrive, and his #1 trading partner is USA. So he tell Rowley, they could put you in any chair. They could put you in the chair that the police put the man in when they were stinging. They could put you anywhere, but you not going with we. We take in, we invite, and we go in and talk to Biden. Gaston Brown continued. Prime Minister, the Honorable, on climate organized by the United States President Joseph Biden, he said in a statement on Monday, Biden said he was inviting the leaders of the world's major economies as well as heads of other countries that are demonstrating strong climate leadership. So in other words, he left out Rowley because Rowley shows no leadership in nothing. Not climate, not foreign relations, not democracy, not diplomacy, nothing. Biden know enough, could remember enough, and could climb enough stairs to say fire burn Rowley. But all you still left foot, right foot here. The Antigua and Barbuda leader said that before the event, he intends to consult with CARICOM heads of government and to work closely with Prime Minister Holness to present a strong and compelling Caribbean position. Not Rowley, not the chair of CARICOM. I'm going to consult with the rest of CARICOM, leave out Rowley, and present a strong argument to Biden for resources and a climate position to save our tourism, our reefs, our coastline. And Rowley is to stay in Tobago and fix the economy, and play golf with small pin up in the K-Pax. That is why I brought up this, because we who live here, who know Rowley's a clown, who experience him from gravel rolling from a hospital to somewhere by to a friend and them going up in the sky while others couldn't, to a sheep farm without approval, to thing in Edinburgh 500 that they're trying to start back now, and they're paying 28 million more for scaffolding than the highest bid, which was 4 million. Don't worry, Noel Garcia, the Douglas come in. Don't feel I leaving that there, no? I see you come out the grocery with that big bag, but I see Rowley name on it. What you had in that bag coming out of Massey stores in Alisgan? One big bag. And I see Rowley name on it, you know. I didn't know if it had baked beans, pork rinds, cereal. I didn't know what it had in it. But the bag was big, and Noel Garcia had it. Holness and Brown invited to U.S. summit. But look where we is, where Trinidad and Tobago is, eh? Maduro paid with gold bars to an Italian company in which Maradona was a lobbyist. The Italian company Castillo, for which Diego Armando Maradona served as a lobbyist before the Nicolas Maduro regime, allegedly received payments in gold bars in exchange for tons of agricultural products. Any of that sounding familiar to all you? Any of that singing familiar to all you? All you know if a gold bar slip out? Kiting, kiting, it slip out. And Delcy land, and man say, me I don't drill down, me ain't no on a plane, citizens can't come home, but a sanctioned jet could land with Delcy Rodriguez as sanction leader and 5 PDVSA officials, and Roger could lean to the left and try to put patriotic with 700 million to buy a refinery that them closed down because of fake oil. All you take a break and give me a chance now. Trinidad and Tobago, are you really serious? We coming back.
Politics, we don't get no kicks. Trinidad and Tobago, do we have this thing out the fix? We coming with facts, cut them down like axe. Every kid and race, find a Negro places love to the max. And when we tell them, Manel, Douglas politics, this is Douglas politics, yo. Douglas politics, listen, Douglas politics, yeah. Douglas politics, this is Douglas politics, yeah. Douglas politics, this is Douglas politics. And it is zero race talk.
And welcome back. It's hot inside here. Heat. Let me tell you something. It get worse. So if all that is not enough for all that Biden, Gaston Brown, and Holness and the whole of CARICOM realize that Rowley ain't no good. And it's just left for the left foot, right foot, Balize people to realize. Go and try and get a new leader, whether a one-shot man who making a play for it to try and sing on TV and thing. No voice, he must he lost 3 votes with that crapo voice. He sing the Mr. Tight Shot who going at Rowley walk. All you sort out who all you want now, because the country cannot continue with this. We in our total mess. But here Foster Cummins. The member of parliament for Laoketo Talparo that we ain't sure where it happened, what happened. We didn't hear nothing about the DSS money yet. We still waiting to hear. But Foster Cummins. And Foster, I have some question for you just now, you know. I have some question for Foster coming up, boy. Foster, is that true? Foster, is that you? Is it Foster's lager? Don't worry, when I get it, I go bust it for you. Laoketo Talparo MP Foster Cummins said, politics must not divide us. Cummins said, this is not about PNM and UNC. This is about the spiritual Baptist faith. Spiritual Baptist was a criminal offense. There is no other religion in the country that went through that. Yes, Foster Cummins. You and the PNM was in charge from 1956 when Dr. Williams was the premier. And then in 1961 when he became the first prime minister. And then he went on for 30 years, 1961-62. They didn't call no election. They gave you a constitution that Ellis Clark say we was trained to follow. You ain't listen to Sinanan, you listen to anybody else, not even Ken Gordon when he was young and bright and not eating scones with Rowley up in Goodwood Park or in Newbury Hill, right? You know, things change after years. Be bright young and then you get dotish old. But anyway, yes, Foster Cummins, you all stayed in power for 30 years until 1986. That is Foster Cummins? All of them PNM man as well make up. What? Boy, take that. What is that? Oh God! Archie, what you doing there? That Foster Cummins is true. Oh God! It's best he put on weave too, because I ain't recognize him. That's he take out the eyelash, he take out the rub off the eyebrow. But Foster Cummins, serious talk. Don't let politics divide us. You talking about spiritual Shouter Baptist Liberation Day? For 30 years, all you had two prime ministers, Williams and Chambers. You then come back after 4 years with Manning. And all you never respected the Shouter Baptist. It was Pastor Pandey that recognized and made the country stand up and clap and celebrate each year the Shouter Baptist Liberation Day. It was Kamla Prasad Bisesa who built a school and handed it over. And people are asking, but why taxpayers should build a school for? There was no other religion that was as oppressed, that could not operate. They were thwarted, not only during slavery, but colonialism and PNM reign. So don't let politics divide we. You all had the opportunity and did nothing. Take your responsibility, wipe off the makeup, get a little wipe or something. This makeup thing that's going on in the PNM, Al-Rawi rubbing off on all you. WASA. Here what the PNMers do. The PNM running WASA right through. The PNM running WASA how they want. The PNM for the last 6 years in charge of WASA. The PNM had a report back in 2009 that was done from 2007 under the PNM who was in charge from 2001 to 2010. And then them come now to fire 3,000 workers and balling corruption, contract this, kickback here, water truck, contract and so on. All of that is PNM. But a PNM just come minister talking like, oh, our hands are clean. We're going to clean up the PNM WASA. Only in Trinidad and Tobago and the media just let them talk that nonsense without ripping them a new one, you know. But here this one. A series of consecutive leaks have beleaguered efforts to restore pipe-borne water supply to parts of Diego Martin, including Powder Magazine, where residents have complained of dry taps for over a week. Water and Sewerage Authority WASA Public Relations Officer Danielle Plenty, but it's not Plenty Water, she should be named Danielle Dry Tap. Danielle Littlebit said yesterday that the repair crews were working in the area have been dealing with one leak after another. So all you didn't know that all the time, Miss Plenty, Miss PNM Plenty, all you didn't know that all the time when LaHunt reached and said that they had 2,800 leak and we were losing half the water that we produce, 4 billion gallons per month. That was in 2017. He said he go fix up that by the December 31st. It never happened. The leaks increased from 2,800 to 4,200. The PNM then went and take an IDB loan of 125 million US and they didn't spend it. They didn't spend it on fixing leak. You know them spend it on creating more supply. The problem in Trinidad and Tobago is not water supply. We have water, we have rain, we have reservoir. It is distribution network that leaking. And then all they want to pretend that water was the UNC PNM same thing. Under Ganga Singh and Kamla, 72% of the population had a 24/7 supply of water. Now we're down to 20% and the PNM balling about corruption. 3,000 workers have to go and leak after leak in Diego Martin. Diego Martin is PNM by Clonging, but PNM by Simon the Nobrigat, Simon the Nosebreaker, Simon one who walk, Simon who studying that girls is bats and all kind of thing and can't do nothing, have pothole all outside the office, Simon the Nosebreaker and Rowley. That is Diego Martin. The Minister of Finance and the Prime Minister is Diego Martin, and Diego Martin have leak after leak after leak. All you keep voting for stupidity. What all you want me to say? Yes, look my boy, Public Utilities Minister, on recently discovered 2009 WASA report, 2009 the PNM was in charge. 2009 the report was hidden. The report was shelved under some spider web and cobweb. And he coming out like he is some fresh new PNM. Oh, well, that was the old PNM. I am a just come. So I come like it's a fresh breath of fresh air. I talking about corruption. This, I don't even know his name. What his name? Name care. I thought the government put a freeze on public service employment and so on. Actually, and they had done that. And Rowley and them say they're not hiring any more contract workers and no more on the establishment in ministries because there are austerity measures and they have to cut costs and so on. And they say that, Archie, but that is one rule and one policy for one. But they have one man who have a different policy. Let me read something for you from the newspaper, Guardian, page 18, Saturday, March 27th, 2021. Udicott. Who is Udicott? The man I see coming out, Massey Saws Alice Glen with one big bag and I see Rowley name on it. Noel Garcia, the man who building airport, hospital, health center, police station, community center, sports stadium, Red House, President's House, Rowley Prime Minister residence in Tobago, and all the houses in Trinidad and Tobago. Noel Garcia of Las Alturas fame, Noel Garcia of them two Edinburgh 500 towers, that 88 million wasted. Noel Garcia of when Rowley was Minister of Housing from 2003 November till 2007 when he got fired by Manning and then ball out he went Lekoto for Manning. That Noel Garcia who built house in Greenvale for people to drown, looking for George Bovell to train in Greenvale when it rained. He in charge of all these things. $3.8 billion of your money. And you all find that's good corporate governance. Then they go and they got the procurement legislation. You all say, go boys, you all is not thief. No. No, them is not thief. Oh no, kuchiku. Udicott. Vacancies. Udicott is seeking to recruit suitably qualified and competent persons on a contract to fill vacancies as detailed under Senior Manager, Corporate Communications and Marketing, Marketing Department, Communications Officer, Senior Facilities Manager, HSSE Manager, Corporate Support Division, Legal Officer, Legal Division, Internal Audit Assistant, Internal Audit. All these people Noel Garcia going to hire to control without procurement legislation, and all you say they're not allowed to hire. They have one policy for them. But Noel Garcia, the man I see with a big bag coming out the grocery in Alice Glen, Massachusetts, that one, hey, you really have a face for radio, but you should go and talk on TTT Live with Natalie go about all you look like twin. Noel flipping Garcia. But have a special place for all your boy. And all you calling people thief. PNM calling people thief. 3 million wasted on Grand River fishing facility. Palatuvia fishermen accused THA of neglect as all the jetties in Tobago crumble and crush. Where all the money gone? It went in that $2 million rope. You didn't have $2 million to fix the fishermen under pressure. No regular gas. They come to take super and then now we just put it by cabinet just for a discussion. We just put a little discussion paper. A cabinet notice brought from a Minister of Energy after discussion with the Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance. You don't just bring a cabinet note just so hey fellas, what you think about this? What you think about removing super? But somebody bust the story and they pull back. But don't worry, all you go get it in your perfume and the man tell you, we are not shutting down Petrotrin, and in case you was going in your fridge and your question didn't close the door. Let me repeat, we're not shutting down Petrotrin. Petrotrin shut down going on 3 years now. $6 billion US lost. Foreign exchange crunch. All your credit card cannot even get it, and all you still have PNM businessmen in the Chamber of Industry and Commerce and Energy Chamber and thing playing games with the entire country as it sinks. I just finished on a note here. Not so much politics, but a little note here. I see a TTPS gender-based violence head. She said, stop posting videos of domestic violence. Head of the gender-based violence unit, ASP Claire Guy Alain, is calling on the public not to share heinous videos of domestic violence, saying it traumatizes victims of abuse. Granted, we agree with that. No problem with that. There is, in everything, there are positives and negatives, and that is a negative. However, ma'am, I would respectfully disagree, because when you post those videos like the last one with that disgusting man, and people, the police hold him one time, people on social media give information, police get information shared, and action is taken. So yes, the victims, but the victims also are not shamed in any way on that. I think the victims are respected, and they know that they are victims. They are not who choose your man properly and all that stupidness. That's not what's going on. But also that I hope that you, the police, and the women and the gender-based ministries and so on, have counselors and so on for that thing. So I would disagree with that, because I think I have seen when things like that go up on social media, police are able to act fast. And I must big up the police so that within 3 or 4 hours, they hold the man. So I disagree with that a bit. So, we're wrapping up there. I just want to say Happy Easter to the entire Christian community. Enjoy, be safe. To those in Tobago, all your Attorney General, follow Rowley, for that's what you all want to do, because he come into lockdown and oppress all you, because we have no vaccine, we have no vaccines, we have no herd immunity. At best, next year, June. But some, if we follow Duncy, Convangil, Dial saying 1,000 vaccinations per day, then it's 2025 in we perform before we reach herd immunity, okay? So y'all be careful. Happy Easter. And we're finishing off with a little video here, because I like to bring back some good memories. As the West Indies cricket, we're playing a little better now. Don't get too excited, but I'm happy that we could win a few matches and so on. But when I saw this, Archie, this just lift me Easter. I could watch this. I wouldn't show you the whole thing, a little piece, but I could watch this man back whole year, and it brings pride and joy at the brilliance of Trinidad and Tobago. That's what we are. We are not people wearing a Hawaiian shirt with flower thing and sipping out a pineapple and telling Massa, could we come please? We are world beaters. Enjoy this. Brian, Charles, Lara, run it, Archie, and good night.
Lara, as he makes his way to the middle. .77 for 1, and that's the sort of tempo of wicket taking that England must expect until they get lower down the order. That's a good stroke. Once again, a bit too short. And you've got a chance with him if you pitch. Not much doubt about that. As it was halfway down the pitch.
That's very delicate, and 4. And repeating the dose. Just stand and deliver. Well, he's going to get 4 more for it. It bounced a foot in front of Gully. Well, that's just guided away. It takes Brian Lara to 50 in what seems nothing more than the blink of an eyelid. And wherever Michael Atherton has put fielders, Brian Lara has completely ignored them. That's it. It's a wonderful 100 for Brian Lara. It has been a superb exhibition of high-quality batting.
No, that's good. That's good. The duty of a true patriot. Leave it up there, Archie. And that, I hope you all enjoy that as much as me. Eh? That is class is class. Put back up there. Let me read that, Archie. And happy Easter to all of Trinidad and Tobago. Be safe. Wear your mask. Socially distance. The duty of a true patriot is to protect his country from its government. Happy Easter. Bless. Good night.